Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Honey and I make Animal Crossing content, tutorials, and other what I think are hopefully helpful things. And if you're into that, maybe hit the like and subscribe button. Today we are going to be making a worn country road that I wanted for my island in particular, because my island's going to be a vintage farm core island, and I wanted the path to look a little bit more worn than the actual city streets, but I wanted it to still look kind of like a city street. So let's get into it. So for this, you can start off with the color of your choice. If you want to use the exact same colors that I chose, I'll go ahead and put those in this description. It is winter on my island. My island is going to be a 4 seasons island, so I will be putting snow. It is going to be like a snowy edged path for right now, and that will change as the seasons go on, so stay tuned for the other versions of this path. Right now I am adding texture to my road because I want it to look kind of like a street. So it's going to be very similar to the Colin Crossing type road situations, but his are really a little dark and city-like for my island, which, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful and gorgeous and amazing, but I really needed something just a little bit lighter and maybe a little more worn looking. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. So what you do is you take your main color and then you go the shade up and the shade down and you texturize your main piece. And this is the piece that you're going to use in order to make all of your edge pieces. So I'll just let you watch me finish this up and I'll get back to you. So we're going to get started on the edge pieces, and what I did was I copied and pasted that center piece into all 9 slots just to kind of hold them together, to save the palette, to save the main base design. And now I'm going to on the sides, I'm going to edge it off a little bit. I want it to look a little bit rustic and a little worn. I don't want it to be like perfectly all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a snowy edge on it, the way like snow like accumulates on the side of the road when you're on a country road. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like a country road. That's kind of what I wanted on this island. Actually, next week I will be doing the full city street tutorial just for you guys. It's not something I'm going to use personally, but I figured maybe if you guys wanted it, then I would go ahead and make that tutorial. Also, you can feel free, like if you have a pink island and you're going for like a fairy kawaii kind of island, you can feel free to make this road pink. You can make it any color you want. Like it's your design and you can customize it however you want. Don't be afraid to be creative. I'm just adding a little bit of snowy texture into the little gravels of my road, and yeah, so enjoy. So in this video, I'll be showing you the diagonal pieces, but I'm not necessarily going to go over the square edge pieces because it really is just kind of like the top and the side put together into one square. And if you really need me to, then I'll do it in another video, but it's really kind of repetitive, and I didn't really want to put you guys through watching it if it's pretty much exactly like 2 of the other squares that I've shown you. So the one thing to keep in mind with these path patterns is that if you want them to look pretty realistic, then the key is to remember that they can't be perfect. So remember that the snow is not necessarily white, like that's not realistic, and it's not kind of how it works in real life. It does take on that gray hue of the road, and things aren't actually symmetrical or perfect. So that is something that you do need to keep in mind, especially with pixel art. It can be so hard because it's so much easier to draw very symmetrically when you're drawing in pixel art, but it doesn't end up translating the way we want it to. So yeah, just embrace the process and trust the process, because everything's going to have like an ugly phase, and you kind of have to work past that in order to get to your goal. I wish there wasn't an ugly phase, then far less people would give up on art, but there is, and it is something that just kind of happens with every photo, picture, drawing, anything as it's coming together. It does go through a moment where it doesn't look at its most attractive, but if you trust the process and you just continue, then it all works out in the end. So for your diagonal paths, when you actually make a diagonal road, I did add in these like little inner corners, so you don't put in like the regular gravel piece and have it look like it's like that square in the middle, and it doesn't look off like that. It's not a necessary piece if you're trying to save design slots. I use it because it drives me crazy, and I couldn't walk over my road without it being there when I'm making a diagonal path. So that's just me though, and it's not absolutely necessary, but this piece is very easy to make. All you have to do is put like a little snowy corner, and that's it. So now we're going to add the lines of the road, and the most important thing to keep in mind with this is to remember that they look white even though it's not actually white, and these lines are reflective, so you do want a little bit of texture, maybe like it to look like kind of like it's shining in some places and there's a little shadow in it. It does have to have a little bit of texture, a little bit of context like that, kind of like the road, and you want it to look like it's maybe raised off just a little bit, because they are raised up just a tiny touch, and hopefully it turns out the way you like. If these videos help you out in any way, maybe consider hitting the like button. It really does help me out so much, and I really appreciate it from you. I thank you for watching though anyway. Your views do count. I'd love if you left me a comment and let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see, or anything that you'd like me to make for you or show you, or anything. I'd just love to hear what you have to say. I do read all of my comments. I try to respond to all of them as well. So yeah, that would be really, really helpful. Thank you guys so much. So here we are. I just laid it out for you. I kind of like the way it looks in this just before the snow or just after the snow type of environment, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward to you so you guys can see what it looks like in the snow. And here we go. Hopefully you guys like this. I really did enjoy making it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. I do make quite a few tutorials, and I know that you guys could be doing absolutely anything in the whole world, and you chose to spend a little bit of your time here with me, and I appreciate you for that so much. A special thanks to my channel members. You guys are amazing, and you mean the world to me. I hope everyone is having a very wonderful day or night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!